It's a sad Sunday. Because tomorrow, I'm leaving this country. I'm going abroad. I'm going to Asia. It's actually going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, baby in the face. Oh. What's up, everyone, and welcome to SWOLA157. Welcome, guys. This is not the guitar that we launched at SWOLA Guitars this past Friday. That was an 8-string Svart guitar. Have you seen it already? It's right here. Look, I'm holding it in my hand. No, but what I mentioned there at the beginning, I'm going to China tomorrow for a couple of clinics, and I'm also going to an exhibition to play a little so I'm going to go there, play a little guitar, and I will be gone for a week. You know, so unfortunately tomorrow there's not going to be a live stream on the SWOLA Contenders. There's also not going to be a live stream for checking out music on Thursday. So, you know, this week there will still be content. It's just that I'm going to be a little bit more restricted. I think Google is basically banned in China or something like that. But did I scratch my ass? Yes! Also, how did you like the new single, the 8-string single from Chug Project Volume 2? I hope you enjoyed it. That's Bim Bam Boom. Got released this past Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms, and you can also watch it on my channel if you'd like as well. Oh shit, I forgot. There's a couple of days left on the free hard case special that we're running at solarguitars.com. Let me show you our hard cases, man. Have you seen... Oh! Have you seen these molded cases that we have? They're freaking amazing, man. And now, in 2 more days, there's a free hard case special on solarguitars.com. Check this out. You click this guy, and you will see the guitars and basses that would include a free hard case. So go there, click that banner. You have 2 more days. Check this out, man. What's it? Oh my God! This is one of my favorite finishes right there. So you pay the price for this A2.6 FR PN Cannibalismo, and you get a free frickin' molded case for that guitar for free. It's a pretty good deal. Guys, it's time for the news. Let's go. BC Rich adds 5-finger Death Punch Andy James to its artist roster, and his first signature guitar is one seriously dangerous Mel Machine. Machine. Lord have mercy on anyone who crosses the path of Andy James and the pitchfork headstock of his Assassin signature guitar. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, look at that. I personally known Andy for a good while, and you know, he was playing with ESP and did a lot of clinics for ESP back in the day. Then he played Kiesel for a while, and now he has a signature guitar with BC Rich. I don't know what to think about this headstock. I guess it's kind of cool, but I can't unsee the fact that this part right here almost looks like a small little butt plug. But it's also, no, it's pretty cool, man. If I look at it like this, nah, that's a good headstock right there. It's just a little uncommon. I haven't seen that before. So that's cool at least. That gnarly headstock design is one of the standout features of James' new electric guitar, which takes cues from BC Rich's Assassin model, but otherwise recruits a low-profile C-shaped satin neck and seamless no-heel shred-solo neck, a cut construction. With an oh shit, it's Evertune. Okay, holy shit, that makes me happy, man. Of course it's an Evertune. You know, if you're a touring guitar player in a serious band like Five Finger Death Punch, you need an Evertune, man. Oh, and there's a, oh shit. That's a 7-string right there. Oh, that's also a 7-string. And that's also, okay, there are only 7 strings maybe. Ebony fingerboard, jumbo frets, Graphtec nut, Lumilite side dots. The Assassin starts from $20.99 US. Holy shit. Fishman influenced modern humbuckers. Yes, very cool. Congratulations to Andy James and all of his success. He's an insane shredder, man. All right, this past Tuesday, you might have seen that Ola uploaded a video. No? Well, if you haven't, go check it out. It's right over here. The video was showcasing Fender's new Axe-Fx, or Fender's new Helix, basically. They're entering the market for modeling. Well, I guess they already kind of did that with, you know, the Mustang series and all that. So they already had the modeling aspect in there. But they're basically making a floorboard mega mothership. I tried it out and I have a video this past Tuesday. I thoroughly enjoyed this unit. It sounded really, really good as soon as I started kind of delve into it a little bit and, you know, using several cabinets and all that. But I had no idea about the price. The price is going to be 17.99 euros, which sets it, that's just slightly below the Quad Cortex, I think, but it's still like, you know, it's still sort of expensive. I think the main aspect, if that's going to be a good price or not, is to see where the upgrades takes the Tone Master. It doesn't have a capturing section right now. Maybe that's something to be added. And you know, I couldn't load in my own impulse responses, but I think on day one, this past Tuesday, that it had a firmware update, so you could upload, and it opened up a fair bit of new features as well. Input-wise and output-wise, extremely potent. I mean, all the inputs and outputs that are needed, and the amp controls and all that. Big, nice-sized floorboard for stage. I'm incredibly curious to see where they take this. And it's also good to actually see another modeler on the market bringing the competition on, man. Holy shit. Mark Tremonti has a new PRS Mt100. And you know, I said this when I demoed the MT15, the 15-watt small little amplifier. That's insane. But I said in that video that, you know, they're probably making 100 watts soon. That was a long time ago, so not very soon, I guess. But they have a 100-watt version. It's coming out. Let's check out the video.
Okay, so this is your new signature amp?
Yes.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the PRS MT15. A great value and great price for that type of full tube amplifier. So it's going to be interesting seeing what the price of the MT100 will be.
So we're going to take that cover
off. Oh shit, he's taking the cover off.
Doing the reveal.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
Fabulous.
Bluesing it up.
Does the bloom thing.
God, that's great.
It's
over enthusiasm of from the interview right there. He's not really demonstrating any metal tones in this. All right, anyways, very cool. I'm very much looking forward to trying out this amplifier. And also with this, Mark Tremonti announces that he's starting his own pedal company, and he's already road testing prototypes. The Ultra British guitarist who plans to launch his own affordable brands with 3 new pedals, recently done with his first unit, and it sounds pretty darn good. Okay, he's going after the Klon. Okay. Oh shit, I mentioned, and you know, obviously, I said this before, I think we're gonna see more and more of this where artists create their own brands. When the music is kind of failing when it comes to earning money nowadays, we'll see more and more brands in the name of artists. And of course, most gear companies are owned by players, but this is a new wave of player-owned brands, including the likes of Tosin Abasi, Ola Englund, Solar Guitar, Sackwild Audio, and Kirk Hammett's KHDK. Now, Mark Tremonti has announced his plans to join that growing cohort of guitarists turned entrepreneurs by revealing he's currently developing his own pedal brand. Guess this is a prototype, so it's not going to be the actual look of the pedal. Tremonti's pedal company will therefore approach its own clone with very specific objectives. I want it to be transparent, I want it to sound like the Klon, and I don't want it to be $8,000, I want it to be 200 bucks. That's fair. Good guy Dave Mustaine stopped the show to have aggressive security removed. This is great news. He says, I'm not going to play anymore until those guys are escorted out of the building. So just hang on a second. That was so freaking unnecessary. That was so freaking unnecessary, you guys. What's the back of your shirt? Safety? It should say no freaking safety, because you guys are punks and you shouldn't have freaking hit that guy. 4 of you on 1 guy. What a bunch of pussies. Get them out of here or I'm leaving. I don't want to freaking hear that they're in the back. I want them to be out of here. Okay, dude, what? So, Dave Mustaine stands up for his audience. That's cool to see. Yeah, holy shit, man. Calm the f down. I mean, you know what the problem is? There exists assholes everywhere, even among the safety guards. So, you know, there's always got to be an asshole somewhere. Could be in the crowd, could be in the band, could be in the safety. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, you would probably think, I'm not saying or speaking on behalf of security teams out there, but a lot of these security guys, they're usually very, large and muscular and, a lot of testosterone and shit. You're not supposed to use that to, bring out your aggressions on this poor little kid, Just saying. But the poor little kid looked like he was pretty muscular as well, so maybe he was, they're just all being very hostile against each other. Anyway, it's cool. Dave Mustaine, hero of the day. Let's just continue. All right, so I just now saw an extra clip from this incident, and it seems actually like the security guards are protecting the stage and Megadeth because this guy that was beaten up, apparently he was supposed to storm the stage, which is not okay. Some dude tried to get up on Megadeth stage. Security wasn't having it. So there you go. The security guards were actually in the good. Well, that's not okay. Look at that. That, man. So there you go. Both sides of every story, man. All right, this piece of news has a couple of people worried. Bandcamp got sold again. If you have no idea what Bandcamp is, it's basically like a platform where, bands can sell their music digitally. So, some bands, they decide not to be on Spotify, for instance, and, just put up their shit at Bandcamp so people can, pay and the artist gets money, because that doesn't happen with Spotify. Apparently, Epic Games own Bandcamp. I had no idea about this. They just recently sold Bandcamp, and there was also news about Epic Games laying off 16% of its staff. And the company that purchased and bought Bandcamp was Songtradr, and it had a lot of people, a little worried of what's going to happen with Bandcamp. Songtradr is a music licensing company, and they're saying that they're going to continue to operate Bandcamp as a marketplace, a music community with an artist-first revenue share. The company seems to see Bandcamp as an asset to its own licensing business, describing plans to offer Bandcamp artists the ability and choice to have their music licensed to all forms of media, including content creators, games, and apps. Bandcamp is becoming a part of Songtradr, which is the music licensing firm that Bandcamp was up against a little bit. A lot of people that sell music on Bandcamp that don't want to be on Spotify, I guess Songtradr is one of those brands that license music and puts it up to Spotify and streaming services and shit like that. So we'll have to see where this goes. To me, it doesn't affect me because I sell my own music on my own website instead. OlaEnglundShop.com. Ha! Remember in the last Sunday with Ola, I said that death metal has been incredibly awesome this past month. Well, also, this is not exactly very new news, but Suffocation released a single and released information that they're releasing a new album, and the single is freaking brutal. Dude, it's good to like death metal. It's good, man. It's a good month for this. They unleashed their 9th full-length album, Hymns of the Apocrypha on November 3rd through Nuclear Blast. Dude, I'm stoked as hell, man. Suffocation, man. And now, my friends, what's the news?
Who's up there? You won't escape that way.
Alright, Adventures with Ola. Trying out this camera. I'm going abroad. I'm actually going to China tomorrow. Holy shit. So I'm trying to work up this camera. This is a smaller Sony camera that I've had for a while, but haven't really used that much. I've been using it for vlogging before, and it seems to be working good. I'm using this gimbal as well, making it look smooth and nice like this. But the actual reason for me making this video is not about this camera. No. What I'm actually gonna do in China is that I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna perform a little bit. And I haven't necessarily performed my own shit in a good while in front of people. So I need to figure out some sort of a setup for me that I can use when I'm, doing clinics and whatnot. So I figured I would try and set something up. Let me hide some secret shit first. So before, when I've been doing clinics, I think when was the last time I did a clinic? Like 2 or 3 years ago. I was using strictly plugins and my computer. I was using my UAD Aero interface and my MacBook Air, basically. And that has worked really well. The only downside with this is that even though you get zero latency, like close to zero latency, there's still a small bit of latency. So I figured I would do a new setup today, an even simpler one probably, and try it out. I need to start practice again. Holy shit. So my new setup will consist of the chug pedal and a UAD Volt 1, which is like a single input audio interface. Since I'm only gonna chug and absolutely nothing else, I figured let's just bring a chug pedal and use that as a preamp, and then I use an impulse response in Logic and just run all my backing tracks from there. So that's what I'm gonna try out today. Hook everything in, see if I can make a chug or not. I don't know. It's not super easy to handle a gimbal, and but it makes the videos look really pro and nice and smooth. Also, I'm trying out how the microphone for this camera sounds. Are you sounding good? I really hope you do. Alright. Coffee. Alright, I have a computer. Let me plug in the audio interface, and I figured I will probably mount this audio interface onto the pedal board right here. So, there's as little cable as possible in this setup. So the idea would have to have my guitar go into the chug pedal, and the chug pedal goes straight into this audio interface, and I would use the impulse response in Logic Pro X. How should I go about this? Chug pedal into audio interface. Cable is too short. God damn it. And I completely love to do shit like this. I love to figure shit out and make up new rigs and new cool solutions for, either playing live with the Hana, doing my clinics. The challenge to have as small of a rig as possible, for a fly-in show, so I can, don't have to bring as much shit with me. Obviously with this, I'm also going to use my in-ear equipment, so I'm going to put my in-ear box right there, and that, everything on this pedal board basically. But as of right now, I'm just trying to figure out my situation with this. I see now that the USB cable right there is a little bit damaged. That just adds a little bit to the excitement. Oh shit. And you might wonder, okay, how do I hook it up to a whatever PA or whatever I'm playing through? Then, obviously I would use the main outputs on the audio interface going into the PA, and then I had a headphone output going to my in-ear system. I've been doing this a little bit with my UAD Aero, so it's not completely, unfamiliar. And here is the dog. Are you gonna help? Hey. And the dog comes to help. Hey, boy. Have you eaten shit today? This is my dog. Her name is Pigs. One day she might eat my face. So, connecting my guitar into the chug pedal, and then I'm gonna figure out like a project in Logic Pro X. I'm gonna put on my microphone so you guys can hear me proper, okay? All right, so I want to start completely from scratch. So I open up a completely new project. Let's do how many tracks? Maybe 4, I don't know. I want to have backing tracks on one, so backing tracks like this. Adding one of the chug songs in here. Let's check it out. Okay, change project, I guess. All right, so we have the music going. That's good. Now we need to figure out the guitar. So I'm gonna create an auxiliary input, and I'm gonna use the Volt input number 1. It's gotta be mono, right? So my guitar goes into the chug pedal right there, and then that goes into the Volt. I'm not using any type of gain on the input or anything. There you go. That's the chug pedal without an impulse response. So we're gonna add an impulse response to this. And I'm not gonna use any of the neural DSP loaders or anything like that. I'm gonna use the built-in space designer in Logic. Why? it's because it's very fast and very cool. It's something you would normally use for reverb, but at this point, you know, when you load up like a church reverb, for instance, that's basically like an impulse response, you know. So we're gonna load up one of my own impulse responses. So this is probably gonna be my main tone right here. And at this point, you know, I'm checking the processing power being used by my MacBook Mini, and it's like, it's nothing basically. And the latency is basically 0. It's so freaking good. All right, so if we play the song, I probably need a limiter on the output as well, so I'm putting on one of my favorite, the Fab Filter Pro L. Just to limit a little bit, like this, boom, beam, bam, so we don't get too much of distortion and shit. Okay, I hear immediately, I need to turn down the backing track. That sounds pretty good, man. So, obviously, you know, I'm gonna use this as my main tone right here. So, I can't use cleans, so I'm not gonna use cleans, okay? I'm only gonna be in chug mode forever, okay? But I want to make a lead tone because obviously I'm gonna play lead tones as well. So I figured, okay, how do I do this with, you know, a set preamp pedal and just an impulse response? Well, I would use automation, obviously. I made a video about this where maybe I add a little bit of a boost to the tone and maybe a little bit of delay. So let me open up first and foremost, delay, very important. Let's do stereo delay. Boom. So very cool, very simple like that. And then I also would want to have a little bit of an EQ boost because right now my tone is pretty scooped. Okay. There's a little bit of noise. Can you hear that? Let's add some noise, Kate. Gone. Great. So I might want to have a little bit of more mids. So basically, I would use an EQ to change the tone completely and then add a little bit of a gain boost when the solo kicks in. And now just to quickly show you how I would go about automating this. So the guitar put is right here, as you can see. But I don't want the delay and the EQ to be on at all times, so I'm gonna shut that off by using main channel EQ. That's going to be on a bypass at all times. So see ya, bypassed. And then we have the delay also going to be bypassed. See? So right here, nothing, right? But as soon as the solo comes in, okay, so right there, we bring in the EQ and we bring in the delay. So right there on that moment, it should change. Yes, did I tell you that I needed to practice and remember the songs? Yes, so very cool. As easy as that, I made an automation for this. And you know, how simple was this, man? Holy shit, that was so easy, you guys. So the settings of the chug right there, can you see that? Basically, oh shit, game on Almost Mac, I can probably turn that down a little bit. The high F gain at 3 o'clock, low F gain at 12 o'clock. We have bass and depth around 4 o'clock, mids at 1, treble and presence at 12 o'clock. So fairly simple in terms of the, yes. Okay, and here's the audio interface right there. Look at that. Gain is at 0. Yeah. Holy shit. That's it. That's the little setup right there for, you know, my small little chug clinics. How about that? That's actually kind of exciting. Anyways, guys, that's my little adventure with Ola. I'll see you soon, okay? Goodbye. Guys, that has to be it for Sunday with Ola 157. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to support what I'm doing, olaenglandshop.com. You can pre-order the Chug album. You can also listen to it on Spotify, the singles at least, and the first album. But Chug album 2 will be out October 25th. There's not going to be any live streams this coming week, but there will be content and videos, and there's also going to be a SWOLA next Sunday. So don't worry about that. I'll see you guys. Have a great Sunday. Goodbye.